For the Hampton Court Flower Show 2010, my brother asked if I would work with him on a garden design. He's a garden designer, a young garden designer who was asked by the RHS to submit a conceptual garden proposal. He'd been asked before but hadn't ever done it, but he was thinking about some concept that he could use as a design, and so he asked me because of the Pansy project. The Pansy project is an ongoing artwork where I plant pansies at the site of homophobic abuse. It started 5 years ago where I marked my own experience of homophobic abuse on the streets. I would find the nearest source of soil to wherever I'd planted ever experienced the abuse, take a photograph of it and then name that photograph and location after the abuse, and then I would post it on my website. Well, the pansy is named after the French verb penser, to think, because the pansy is seen to have a sort of face that bows as if it's in deep thought, and because of that association it became related to men who were thoughtful or effeminate, and that's how that word has become a derogatory term for gay people. So it was when I was thinking about how to mark these different locations where people had experienced abuse, I wanted it to be a flower because I noticed how roadside memorials changed the way that you read an urban space, and you could see flowers pinned to a railing or something, but I wanted there to be a live plant, and the pansy was just the obvious choice. When I worked for Homotopia, I was able to plant 2,000 pansies that dissected a memorial park, St John's Gardens in Liverpool, and it was really interesting because it just dissected through the formal planting and the memorial garden itself, and it was called Memorial to the Unnamed because they found a body that was widely believed to be a result of a homophobic murder in the park in the corner. So I planted the pansies in a line from where his body was found to the entrance of the park. The year after I was in Liverpool, Michael Causer was killed as a result of a homophobic attack, and because I had been involved with Homotopia, I did get lots of information and lots of people were telling me about it, and I felt obviously that I should plant a pansy there, but I did wait for a year because I thought it was decent to do that, and after a year I contacted Michael Causer's parents and asked their permission to plant a pansy at the site where Michael Causer's body was found, and they were gracious enough to allow me to do that, and they wanted to actually come and watch me plant the pansy for him as a memorial to him. And that got quite a lot of press, and it was quite a nice thing to do, and they really enjoyed it. Well, I don't say they enjoyed it, they were moved by it. And after that, the police were involved with wanting to do something with the Pansy Project and Michael Causer's death. And we decided to plant some pansies in their front garden as a sort of memorial garden to Michael Causer in their family home in Liverpool. For the London Lesbian and Gay Film Festival in 2007, they used a pansy as their main image for the festival. It was the 21st year of the festival, and I planted 3,000 pansies along the South Bank from where David Morley was killed at the Hungerford Bridge all the way to BFI, and that was delineating all the areas around that route that you would take to Hungerford Bridge to the BFI. People are touched by the fact that the pansy can be used in that way and to represent something that is so horrific. And already I was speaking to a woman today and she was kind of saying that's so sweet, and my youngest son is gay and I'm going to tell him about this, and it's a kind of really interesting thing to be. I feel slightly like I've subverted what the flower show is about, but in this category it's really interesting because there's lots of different ways of exploring gardening and that kind of way, and that's why it's been quite good working with my brother who's a garden designer and is more au fait with that kind of language, but it's just been a really interesting experience.